Hello and welcome back to A City Planner Plays City Builders, where we are building the city of Bluffside Crossing. And today it is officially winter. And so I wanted to take a look at an area that we have neglected taking a look at in a little while, and that is the Target and Home Depot over near the TOD. And I still love this area. I spent a lot of time working in this area, and I think that it has really come out well and looks really great in the snow. There are some things that are difficult to see unless you zoom in, like some of these bushes, but all in all, I think that it looks great. Now, one thing you might notice is I currently have the game paused, and there's a very specific reason for that. It's currently 76 degrees in Bluffside Crossing, or that's what the game thinks. And as soon as I resume it, I have a feeling that the temperature is going to drop a bit. When the temperature drops a bit, we're going to have a whole bunch of needs in the city. First, we're going to need to look at our heating. We're going to need either boilers or geothermal heating plants, and they both have their merits. The boiler station produces more heat for a similar cost, with the externality of having a bit of pollution. So if you have a place where you can deal with the pollution, you're probably okay with this particular asset. That said, this is one of those things about the game that I've always found interesting. I think that maybe in some places this is a more common solution. Certainly in America, it's not. We have forced air heating in a lot of places, or individual boilers in homes. But I really love this part of the game. One of the things that is going to be a challenge, though, is if we take a look at the pipes in our city. I haven't placed any of these water pipes with heating pipes. So I'm going to actually have to go through the entire city and retrofit that. And don't worry, I'm not going to make you suffer through all of that in real time. I will time lapse all of that, but I do want to show you that process, and hopefully you don't hate me for it. The other thing that we're going to need is we're going to need to make sure that we have a place for snow storage. This is always a huge factor when thinking about developments, not just at the macro level, where does the city store snow, but at the micro level as well. Often I'll look at projects and see that there's no place to store the snow. Maybe the road right away is not wide enough to accommodate snow removal and storage, and as a result, we'll need to talk with developers about providing more right of way. Thankfully, in City Skylines, that's not a concern, but we do need to figure out where to place our snow dump. And that is certainly something in a city that is a question. And this is going to be really challenging in Bluffside Crossing because of how sprawling of a metropolitan area it is. You can see that no matter where we place these, we're getting good coverage, but that doesn't mean it's quick and effective. So let's see, right here. So I could put this outside of Little Berlin and cover a good third of the community. Certainly most of the business park, half of downtown, but that's not going to be enough. We're going to need other locations, and we're going to need to keep these on roads that make sense. It would be great to put it right on the arterial, and look at that coverage that you get from it. But now you have all of these snow plows loading from an arterial. So we're going to still utilize roadway hierarchy when we're thinking about this, and we're going to try to find good places to put these. And once we're done with all of that, we're going to need to remedy some of the issues that are cropping up in the city. And I don't know if we'll necessarily get to that today. That could be a next episode sort of deal, but it's certainly a thing. The other thing that might become a problem, and I'm saying might because unlike most other episodes where I test things out beforehand, I wanted this to be a completely organic experience, something that you're seeing me respond to things in real time and put out fires. If there's anything that Bluffside Crossing has been a pattern anyways, I let things happen in Bluffside Crossing. In Verde Beach, for instance, I meticulously plan everything and try to make things as efficient as they can be. Here, we kind of we do that to an extent, but we also just roll with the punches. So we're going to do that a bit today. So without any further ado, let's run the city and see what happens. I have a feeling that we're going to have issues with heat, issues with electricity, and issues with snow removal. So we're moving, and we obviously have big problems with our boilers, with our heating. So our consumption, 311 megawatts, and I think that that's going to come directly out of our power, if I'm not mistaken. So as you see, we actually have an issue with our power now, because rather than using these boiler systems, people are using furnaces. So 525, wow. So we're gonna really need a significant amount of boiler systems or geothermal heating plants. So I've paused this for the time being. I think I'm gonna place a geothermal plant here over by the solar plants. Actually, I'll do a couple of them and get these connected up and make some improvements. Now this area isn't connected to anything else, so we're gonna need to do that. But at least this will have power, and in my mind is a fairly logical place for this. Let's make sure it's by other utilities, but I am by no means a geothermal heating expert. So if you know that I'm doing it wrong, please let me know. So I'm going to lay this out and get this over to Mount Hood quickly. Okay, so I've at least got this connected up to Green Hills, Clifton Gardens, and Mount Hood. Now I need to go through, and one of the nice things you can do here is actually upgrade these pipes, so I'm going to go through and do that now. Okay, so this whole area has been retrofitted, and I want to see if this stabilizes our situation at all. So I am going to turn this on. We've already got power issues over here. Okay, that helps us with our heat. With our power, we are still in a really, really bad place. So I'm going to pause it again. You know, we don't even have enough boiler capacity at this point to cover this entire area. You can see that there are portions of the community that are not covered. So even with adding 2 boiler facilities over here, it's just not enough. I might add 1 more just to see how things work. It really kind of pains me to add boilers knowing that it pains me to think of adding boilers knowing that they create pollution. And we've done such a careful job of not having pollution. I can't do it over here. I will add it to our general industrial area over here, which is struggling because of the lack of power. I would prefer not to demolish a bunch of stuff, but I kind of want to get a couple of these in close proximity to one another. Okay, so we'll have kind of like a boiler complex. Now, one of the issues I see already is that because this is located in an area without power, it's not going to help out right off the bat. So that's certainly an issue that I am now very aware of and regretful about my placement. I might need more as a result. At least something to get me going to reach that equilibrium. And our crazy pipes that completely ignore realistic grades, we're rocking them right over here. Okay, so as I'm thinking about this more, maybe what we really need is some sort of redundant power solution for this area. Now, I have a little cheat that I could use to make this boiler work over here. So I have this substation, and it wouldn't be the worst idea to get a substation over here. This is a long ways away from the power plants. You figure there would be many electrical substations in between right here and where the solar plant is. So maybe I will include one of those over here. Maybe I will struggle to put it in place. Okay, let's see if this resolves our issue. Getting a little closer. Not enough. So this makes me think that maybe we just need a redundant power system. And I've been thinking about this a while. You know, one of the things is, so we put in all those solar panels, and you know, it's not really all that reasonable to think that without some sort of battery storage solution, that many panels could exist. So what I've been thinking is it might be nice to have a nuclear plant as a backup, a redundancy, and we can certainly afford it. Although our ability to afford things is dramatically plummeting as we add this infrastructure. I think it would. Let's take a look at the negative externalities of this. That's noise is basically it. Nuclear power is pretty clean. The main problem with nuclear power is that it uses a lot of groundwater. And let's take a look. We are also short on water. So something to be aware of, I suppose, that we'll probably need to take a look at. So let's think about the best place to locate this kind of plant. So I would imagine that we want to keep this away from people. It's going to have steam. So even though steam isn't factored in, that would certainly be a dissuasive factor in people wanting to live near something. And also, if there were some sort of catastrophe, we absolutely would not want people impacted. So I think there are really two logical locations. One would be this business park, and two would be this industrial area over here. There's not a lot happening over here, so this might be where I go with it. The problem is I've really kind of not given myself a lot of space. The only place I've given is near the highway, and I'd be concerned about potential visibility issues with the highway. That said, we might not have a lot of other good options. We might need to go for it. Let me continue to look though, just a little bit longer. I think this might be our best location. Although I've said it, I don't know that it's ideal. This should solve our power issues and our heating issues. Power solved. We're still way beneath where we need to be with heat. We need to fix that. But at least we can exist now while we are figuring all of that out. Okay, on to the rest of our upgrading. And I do think I am going to sim just to kind of see what happens. If I see that population is dropping too fast, I will certainly stop. Okay, now this is interesting. I'm looking at our farm and all of our fields are now gone. And I think the reason for that is it's winter. You can't have fields. Problem is, now all of our power that used to serve these buildings is no longer present. I'm disappointed in this, obviously. The farm is one of my favorite builds of this entire series. That said, we are going to stick with this and make it work. So right now we're having rolling heat outs. I guess I don't know if that's what I would consider it. But our production is way below our need. So I am going to continue to increase our production. And I'm probably going to add a couple more plants over here, which will get us very close to our need. Right on the edge. Our consumption will be just at our production. So not a great solution long term, but it'll get us there for the time being. So more upgrading of pipes. Okay, academic report. Don't need that. Wow, something I did just made everyone super unhappy. So I'm having an issue where there's some missing connection somewhere in here that is causing these buildings not to be linked up. Oh, right there. There we go. Okay, and that little snowflake indicates that we have snow-covered roads all over the place. So we're going to need to do something about that very soon. That said, we're almost done with our pipe upgrades, so I'm probably just going to finish that. Okay, so I am going to pause the game. These pipes are incredibly expensive, and now we're losing money due to this new infrastructure and the problems we're having with snow. So I think it's pretty unwise to continue the simulation. The population's kind of not doing anything, which surprises me a bit in a good way. So I'll just finish these upgrades, and then I will move on to getting some snow storage in the city. Okay, I think that's it. And I'm glad because I have not been blinking while I'm doing this, and now my eyes are watering. So definitely need a moment to blink and reset. So now we are in dire need of some way to clear this snow. So I think the very first one I'm going to place, the very first snow dump, is actually going to be right off of this roundabout. One of the challenges is in this area I've placed these medians, so that makes it impossible for vehicles to get in and actually dump the snow appropriately. So I might actually need to change the road to have this make sense. The other thing is, this is a local road, but it's kind of functioning as a collector, so I don't love this, and I'm talking myself out of it the longer I go. So I might actually, let's just see if I can sneak it in back here. This is an industrial area, so I think it'd be a fine location for this. It's just kind of a funky entry. So I am going to start simulating again, and I think it'll be fun to look at the roadway condition as we place these buildings. Okay, so this was another kind of industrial type area. So was this. So this is a collector. I don't know that I would place this collector here again. And it's certainly functioning as a local road. So I'm going to place one snow dump here. That'll be a good location for it. Let's see, you see it clears up things pretty quickly. So our coverage now, we've got half of the downtown, the airports. We are going to need something probably outside of this forest area, forest district, forest industry district, to kind of take care of the tourism area. So I'd love to get this closer to the collector if I could. Slopes are an issue here, so we might end up backing out a bit further than I'd like. So let's see, from a coverage standpoint, we're still going to have issues in our tourism district. Not great. Not great at all. Well, we press on. So in this area, we haven't really built a lot of our roadway network that would extend beyond the Avalon at Bluffside. So I might actually just add a road here to place this infrastructure. Do I think this is what these residents would be most excited to look at? No, probably not, but I think it's a necessity. It looks like I missed a connection over here too, conveniently. Okay, so let's take a look again at our coverage. Wow, better, but still missing a significant chunk of our tourism district. So downtown, let's focus on that for a minute. So I think that we could probably sneak something in over here near our tram, but I've really overloaded this area with traffic, so I don't know. I'm hesitant to do so. Let's take a look. So this is an arterial, so I would need a collector and then a local to make this work. And I might just go ahead and break roadway hierarchy. Well, let's see. No, I can't do it. I can't break it. What I'm gonna do is actually try to see if I can sneak it in over here. Nope. I have a median here, so that's not gonna work. Probably put it in here along the farm. Yeah, this isn't great. This is a dirt road. So I know that if I were to suggest that, the public works director would lose his mind at me and say, how dare you even consider that? You're going to destroy all my plows. I don't love this location either because we already have all of this truck traffic. That said, I think there are worse locations. So I'm going to place it over here and let's see how that impacts our coverage. More. But we're still missing most of downtown. So I think ideally we would have a snow dump in downtown. I don't know of any good location for this, especially when we start to think about, you know, the value of our land. Where is the city going to be able to purchase land to put a snow dump? Maybe right here? Using eminent domain to take that one property, and we've done it. We have on a local road near downtown a snow dump. So that's huge. So just for the FPS, I will turn off the snow. It's kind of taken a bit of a hit there, which is disappointing. Let's see. I'm going to speed things up. I want to take a look at how our condition is improving. Now, one of the first things I notice is that our money situation is starting to improve. We're bouncing around a lot, which means that the business park is part of the issue. In my estimation, we would certainly need to fix snow removal out here. There aren't a lot of great locations for this without significant grading or converting part of this highway to a local road, which I again don't want to do. Let's see. Yeah, there aren't. Maybe I can get one around here? No, the grade is too steep. So the only other thing I'm thinking about that I don't love is I could place a road near our fire department. Not ideal, but again, takes care of, from a utilitarian standpoint, this is about as good a location as we can get, with the exception of not having water. I don't know if it helps us to get heat to the dump. I don't know why it would need water, truthfully, or power. But we'll give it to them, and you know, we'll see. Thinking about actually crossing the highway with this connection for redundancy purposes. Okay. So one more look at our condition. We're okay. Coverage. Okay, we need something over here. We have nothing in this entire area. We have problems with heat over here. Huh. I missed a whole bunch. Okay, a couple quick connections. Fix everything right up. Good there. But we do need a place to store our snow again. So this isn't something that people would like to live next to. I would imagine that, you know, as much as this is a busy area, and I'm not loving it from that standpoint, from an appropriateness, a use appropriateness standpoint, probably about as good as we're gonna get. Still missing heat in a couple areas. Okay. Same thing up here. Maybe I just need to do a once over just to make sure that we are covered. Okay, that is weird. I don't know what's going on. This is one of the reasons why looping is so important. Yeah, our production is bouncing around. And I think that's part of the issue. Obviously over here we missed a pipe too. So that was an issue, but it is bouncing around. So just something to keep an eye on, I suppose. All right, let's again take a look. So I would think that behind the target, if we could make it work, incredibly suitable location. This land is you know, mostly unusable without that. That grade is ridiculous. Let's see if I can improve it at all. It's still pretty steep, but at least you could see it happening, maybe. All right, let's look at our coverage once more. Coverage good, condition bad, that'll improve. Probably need something up in Hillcrest. And this is, so, you know, Bluffside Crossing is a very connected region, except for when it comes to stuff like this. There's just, you can't make up for that hyper-local you know, connection here, or placement of certain building types. And the really unfortunate thing is, you know, oh, we're back at the power issue, or the heating issue. Our consumption, oh, it's because our heat's dropping, or our temp is dropping. All right, that makes perfect sense. People would consume more as the temperature drops. So let's get a couple more boilers over here, at least one. Try to keep that as far away from the residents as possible, knowing that this does cause some pollution. Ooh, failure. Went through the parcels, making us all undevelopable. Okay, we're good there. Heat consumption, again, right there in the yellow. Not ideal. As the temperature drops below 0, we are going to be bumping right up against that consumption. So the other thing, now that I'm thinking about this, this might be a good location for, this would have probably been a better location for this snow dump. And I might, let me see how things are going over here. I might actually place a second one. These are relatively, yeah, things are fine. Things are fine. Hillcrest is a bigger concern. There's not really a good way to get over it, but even over here, it's not so bad. They're still making their way over here. It's just, it's a hike. So maybe actually placing one here would allow them to get on the highway and more easily serve that entire area. Sorry, I noticed there's a couple power lines over here for no apparent reason. So, okay, let's see where they're going. That is brutal. We gotta fix that one of these days. All of this before I was smoothing out the roads. Where are we going? Are we going the right way? I think that we are. Yeah. Okay. And I'm satisfied that this was a good decision at this point. I see that, you know, it's a hike, but at least they're able to get over here, and they're going to remedy this and clean everything up in short order. From a financial situation, bouncing around, population, kind of staying around this 69,000 mark. I don't know that we've eclipsed 70. If you noticed it during the video, let me know in the comments. I certainly didn't notice it. But I think there's some stuff, I mean, we certainly have a demand for it at this point. So it's something that we're going to need to look at really soon. So I think that we have successfully at this point converted Bluffside Crossing into a winter map, and we're taking care of the issues as they come up. Oh, one thing we're not taking care of: snow over here. Okay, gonna terraform a bit here. Don't love that, especially for this kind of use. I mean, really? But we need to have something over here so badly, and there's no good location for it, that I might just eat crow a little bit here and do a bunch of terraforming that doesn't actually serve the purpose of what I'm trying to do. That is the way it works sometimes. Let's one more try. No. And that, my friends, is why you don't terraform if you don't have to. Okay, well, we'll have to find another location for this. It might just be in one of these industrial blocks. Take out a whole bunch of stuff. At least the land value here is terrible. So I'm not overly concerned about the city's ability to purchase land to decommission this area, decommission a portion of this area for a snow dump. It's not like downtown where it's like, whoa, like even where we purchased, 49 credits per square meter. That's pretty pricey. So, okay, one last review. Our coverage is good except for over here, but it's still okay. It's not happening. I need to stop being so reluctant and just place something over here already. Just reluctant because I know that we're going to have to take out buildings. I am not necessarily planning here. I'm reacting, which is the mode cities can certainly get in at times. It's not a good mode to be in, not a good place, because you're not really doing your citizens a service in my mind. But got to provide this service. It's absolutely necessary. Oh, move it. How I have missed you. Move it. Okay, so we'll place that there, and let's clean up our terraforming a little bit there. Try to make it a bit more natural. And this should mean coverage everywhere. Everywhere except for here and here. But our condition is it's adequate. I think that we are going to struggle with this a little bit. We're going to need to keep an eye on it, but at least now we're making money. Things are from a population standpoint stable, and we're not dying anymore as a community. Because there was a moment there where I was a little concerned. So let's take a couple quick views around the city. Through the power of editing, bam! It's nighttime, or dusk at least, and we'll take a look. Love the way snowfall looks in this game, and we have snow everywhere. So I will certainly leave some more of these views on as we after the video concludes. But I really want to thank you for joining me today. I hope that you like this episode. I think we've got a lot of fun things to tackle in really quick order, and I hope that you stick with me to do it. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you are not yet subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. And if you want to be notified when I release new videos, hit that notification bell. Until the next episode of Bluffside Crossing, I'll see you